we got, I'm from North Carolina originally, man. You know what I mean? I'm from North Carolina.
Okay.
And so, of course, this week we were shocked by one of the other big three. All right. Of the big three, he's now released a new song. J. Cole released a new song called Clouds out of nowhere that I just found out. He let us know that he just did this week.
Yes,
Just did. He just wrote it that week. Dropped Clouds. I dropped my opinions on it. I was the first reaction on that video. And this week when it dropped, I was filming. And next thing you know, I was like, oh, shoot. I went to Twitter and everybody's like, J. Cole, J. Cole. I was like, what? So what are your thoughts about J. Cole's Cloud song?
So I really love the J. Cole Cloud song, and I'm actually doing a long form YouTube video on it next where I break down his fact that he's underrated because so many people, once he bowed out of that beef with Kendrick and Drake, they took it for granted, like, oh, he's soft, he's trash, he's this, he's all of that. And I really wanted to see him get into that lyrical battle, be in the mix and all of that. But once I started hearing where Drake and Kendrick were taking it, I was like, okay, J. Cole is actually friends with both of them. He's not one to be stuck in the middle. He doesn't want to come at Kendrick in a disrespectful way. He was like, oh, if we're spitting bars, I'm going to be in the mix. So fast forward, he got out the mix. Now, he dropped a couple of, cool tracks after that. It was solid stuff, but it wasn't like Clouds. He spoke on a lot of, real life situations, how the fact that, human jobs are being taken over by AI, how, just kids are being stuck to iPads. Billionaires are controlling just like what we do. And we're over here trying to barely buy houses, not qualified, not making enough income, all of those types of things. And he's, the one thing about J. Cole that really makes him such a great rapper is that he's introspective and he's also worldly. So he thinks on both ends of the spectrum and he puts together such a great song and it has congruency. You know, Clouds was such a smooth, ethereal type of feeling. You just hear that, that synthesizer come in, the smooth drums, and then just the way his pacing goes on the bars and the beats, it just already takes you someplace. So he came back at the right time, showed everybody that he still got it and that he belongs in the big three. He's not some side piece that, oh, he's a pawn and then, this is the rook and that's the knight. Nah,
Right.
This guy is actually over there. He's king or castle, one of the ones on the board that's really making moves like that. And I feel like so many people are going to regret that they act like J. Cole is not that guy, because when it gets to the end of his career, you're going to go back through his catalog and just see how much diversity he had and how he's put together a lot of these records that you're going to be listening to for lifetime. A lot of these records are not going to get dated.
Okay. All right. That's pretty good. All right. Pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I think for me, yes, I do have a personal opinion about backing out of a battle, because as a North Carolina rapper who record is battling dudes is 20-1. I really don't back down. Okay. I never back down. And I get what he was doing. It was like you said, right? We spitting bars. All right. It was a friendly bars. So I get it, like, oh, I'm gonna show you. So he just said some stuff about Kendrick while you're out, but he was like, I guess, kind of playful with it. So I get it, right? But then it's like, you didn't put yourself out there, and then next thing you know, they're gonna start coming with some bars. So it's just like, okay, now you're just gonna back out. I'm like, no, you starting a battle, you jumping in. But Clouds for me, after this historic battle, I would say one of the best battles, the biggest battle ever. I guess I would say the best diss song ever, because it was at the Super Bowl, so it has to be.
Right.
I say Clouds. I like Clouds. I love Clouds. I gave it 5. My rating is CDs, so I gave it 5 CDs.
Okay.
It's a smoking track, right? Of course. So it's not that smokers vibe, lo-fi, I just didn't want it to be J. Cole's first song after we've just heard Kendrick and Drake drop some crazy diss songs, both of them.
Right.
I'm like, okay, J. Cole, we know you backed out. Your fall off is coming. The fall off is coming. Like, I want it to be like just a banger. Masterfully lyrically though, the cadence lyrically dope. What he said, what you said about AI,
Right.
all that messages, dope. You know, I know J. Cole does have like a low tempo beat for some singles he put out first.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted like a banger to kind of like hit the charts. And I get it. He just wrote it on this week. He just wrote it, put it out
So
there. And so I just want to be
that's
the first
been
thing we heard from him to be like
mhm.
straight up like, okay, now I'm here. All right.
That's the thing with him to where I feel like he not disappoints me, but he kind of like aggravates me because he never usually chooses to drop bangers. He's all about like he wants you to vibe, he wants you to get that mindset, all of those things. But then that last album he just dropped
Mm-hmm.
before this, when he had Amari on there, when he had the song with 21 Savage, he had
Mm-hmm.
all these things on there. That was the J. Cole that I wanted for the longest time because one of my boys is J. Cole's biggest fan. J.
Mm-hmm.
Cole can't do no wrong, all of that. But I was like, bro, I want him aggressive. I want him
Yeah.
coming at people like, I'm here. You're going to respect me regardless what you think because everybody want to put me in this box.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he delivered in his last album where I was like, okay, this is J. Cole. Like when you go into the movie Bad Boys, when you shoot, that's how you shoot.
Yeah. No, definitely, man. I mean, I feel you. I mean, I've said stuff. Look, I'm from the States, so I try not to be super critical of J. Cole because I know I can, because for me, just because I've met hundreds of North Carolina rappers, and I'm you know,
Right.
and I hate to tell people this, but you know, I'm just telling people. I mean, I just know for a fact. Like I was picked to open up for 50 Cent and all this. I was on a bunch of radio stations, but look, none of us. I moved to New York, right, to get a
Right.
record deal, but none of us got to the level that J. Cole did. J. Cole was in New York. You know, and North Carolina, we got phenomenal rappers. Some of us rap like
Absolutely.
we from Atlanta. Some of us rap like we from New York, but we have the best of both worlds. And
Right.
so I could be super critical. That's why I try not to put my opinion too much about J. Cole, because he's still the only one. Him and the baby now, right? But the baby still had to do gimmicks to even get people to notice him. He was, I knew people. I wasn't at South by then. I went last year, but he was.
Yeah.
People were telling me he was walking around with diapers on.
The baby
You know what I
diaper
mean?
on, yep.
Yeah.
And
So
the other thing with him too is he got to a certain point where he got big and he thought he was bigger than the system. So he started saying them gay slurs and stuff at one of his
right,
concerts. And then he got blackballed, and now he's trying to work his way back up there because he was
right,
like, "Oh shoot, I wasn't as big of a person as I thought I was, where I could just pop it how I want to pop it." So now
yeah,
he's like, "Oh okay, I got to eat some of that humble pie and refix my image." So
yeah,
yeah, it's like J. Cole is North Carolina as far as one of the biggest mainstream artists. He has his own festival called Dreamville, which is for the town. He's putting on
yep,
for the whole state. And
yep,
that's the thing is it's like he has a lot of pressure. And being that he's not someone that loves to be in the limelight, it's like he still does things his way and he still delivers. Every one of his albums, goes platinum. He sells millions of records a year and he doesn't have to do all the extras. It's like he has such a loyal fan base. He could just keep running his stuff the way he wants to run it. And he's able to put on a talented team. He's got, multiple artists on his team that are nice. He's got Boz. He's
Oh yeah, I
got
love
freaking,
us.
what's my guy's name? The one that was going to
Jid?
get into the beat. Huh? Yeah, JID. JID was going to jump into the beat. Him and
Yeah.
Schoolboy probably was going to be part of the mix and all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, all of that's like the Dreamville lineup is just crazy. They got a solid team over there, and not a lot of rappers that have a big platform are willing to share with their people that are talented as well and help them get a bigger platform.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean J. Cole's a different cat too, man. I mean, he just not like I'm not gonna say he's not. That's kind of crazy. I was about to
He's
say
not
he's
like
not like
us.
us.
He's not like us.
But I mean, but really though, J. Cole is like, look, he's from I know Fayetteville.
Yep.
Fayetteville's hood, man. It's our military town, but the rest of it, most of it's hood. After that, I
Right.
believe the base is hood. It's super hood. But Moray is from Fayetteville, who got a
Yep.
new project dropping. So shouts out to him. And so, but yeah, it's Fayetteville, man. The Ville is hood, man. So, but J. Cole, he's kind of like when you go to college, this happens, man. I mean, I wasn't super hood, but I was hood enough to where when I left my black college and went to a white college, You know, I was wrapping my T-shirt around my head. We was doing that. You know what I mean? That was what we doing in my black college. We was wrapping a T-shirt around the head, you know, walk around campus like that. When I went to my white college, they was like, why is your shirt on your head? You know what I mean? I look at the pictures like, damn, I was, you know what I mean? I was to them. I'm like, this is what we do, man.
You were in that Petey Pablo twist your shirt off here.
Oh, no, yeah. Actually, that's Greenville. So, yeah, Petey Pablo was trying to, at that time, Petey Pablo was out, and he was trying to get to the club one night. He couldn't get in. So Petey Pablo, definitely seen him. But, yeah, so I will say also shouts out to Petey. I mean, he had it a little moment, but he couldn't sustain it as long as J. Cole has.
Reason why is because the era changed, and back then you didn't have the direct to consumer like you do now. That's the thing. Like J. Cole and them have the machine; they can go the machine route. But if J. Cole decides, okay, right now I just want to sit back, I'm gonna work on my craft, and then all of a sudden I'm gonna drop something on my website, I'm gonna post on X or whatever or any social platform, they have the way to automatically start churning the people to them without having to say, "Hey, machine, put this out for me." That's where I feel like a lot of the rappers from the early 2000s, mid 2010s, they weren't able to have that same type of platform. They might have had some hits, but it was like, okay, we weren't able to get that next hit without the machine putting $1 million behind it. That's where it differs for these artists.
And I think my thing about what I want to say about J. Cole is, he'll just, you'll catch him in New York, he's riding a bike. You're like, why you ain't taking a car? We ain't got limo service. Somebody said last year they was at the beach. We got a couple of beaches. And so I was at the beach and seen J. Cole with his wife just, you know what I mean? Like, Jay, I mean, I know he plays basketball. I got boys that live in Raleigh. But I go back to Raleigh. I was living in Raleigh, but I never bumped into J. Cole. But some people just be like, oh man, yeah, he went and pulled up to Carolina, started playing basketball. So you just kind of, I guess J. Cole he's kind of like a wanderer, and you just may end up seeing him. Yeah, he's just a regular guy, and I think that's what the life that he wants. And so but he's super lyrical. No doubt about that. One of the best of the state, no doubt about that. And so, but I just wanted, like you said, a banger track. Like, yeah, y'all was hating on him. Guess what? Number 3 is back to be number 1. So be that as that may, man. This is called Quick Hit. So we're going to keep it moving.